Mae'r ail cerdd am harbwr Aberystwyth, a mae'n sôn am sut mae'r harbwr wedi newid dros y blynyddoedd. The second point is about the harbour at Aberystwyth, and it speaks of how the harbour has changed over the years. Marina. Cofiaf yn fy mlentyndod, hen gychod y maw a silt, yn brin o dar a phaint, stainiau rhwd, arogl bisgota, olew gwaedlyd a rhaffau diwerth. Heddiw, hwyliau lliwgar, morwyr cyfoethog, a champagne ar fyrddiau sgleinio gefydd a ffren newydd. Ail gartrefi drud uwch ben potiau cynwch wedi stacio yn daclus. A'r crainau newydd sy'n sefyll mewn rhes fel croc breni ar y cei tris. The last ship poem, or boat poem, is about the wreck of the Royal Charter. The Royal Charter sunk off the coast of Anglesey in 1859. It was on its way to Liverpool. It had left Melbourne in Australia, bringing people home from the gold rush in Australia. Most of the people made their fortune there in Australia. They were carrying the gold home with them. Many of the people who died with their pockets weighted down with gold coins and gold dust. It's called the Royal Charter. From Melbourne to Liverpool bound, in less than 58 days, by sail and steam, the Royal Charter comes via Queenstown in Ireland and around the Skerries with cargo of wool and hides, weighted with golden dust and coins from fortunes made in a far-off land. To Moelfrey's razor rocks on Anglesey coast, a total wreck, bulwarks smashed, decks breaking up in sight of help. So near to land, they could see desperate faces and hear their fearful cries, but waves and winds too fierce to drag 400 wretched souls from their watery doom. And later, on the shore, ragged figures bent double dodged the restless tide, picking sovereigns from between the rocks like shellfish. Un ola ydy Saith Seren. Saith Seren. Mi welai Saith Seren, uwch ben y dref drist. Saith Seren fy arwydd, Saith Seren fy nolau gwyrdd. Ac mi glywais Saith Seren yn y meiler ac yn y rhos, yn canu yn y cae ras, yn gweiddi yn y parc. Saith Seren fy nobaith, Saith Seren fy nhist, Saith Seren yn sibrwd yr iaith Gymraeg yn fy nlys. Diolch yn fawr.
To read you is called The Urban Fox. I don't know whether anybody has seen any foxes around Wrexham. Yeah. Well, this is a very special urban fox because it's actually about my friend Derek. But it's about an urban fox because he's like one of them. Foxes are such wondrous creatures with sharpened minds and matching features, proud and strong, a streak of lightning on their toes, pulse up, chest tightening. The urban fox is very special, for it is he who has to wrestle extra hazards just to be amongst the chaos of the city. Not for him the brackened lair, the open field, the country air. He's stealthy, cautious, bright, aware. He has to risk, to act and dare. Within the mess of human traffic, his inner compass never static. Vixen gone, he stands alone, waiting, watching over seeds he's sown. By sodium orange streetlights bright, he navigates the lonely night, avoids the searchlights of the cars. The smog obscures the sight of stars. He trudges on, his path uncertain, wary of a twitching curtain, a slamming door, a fearful row, a fight, a shout, what's happening now? His road is long, his troubles deep, a body swerve, a nervous leap. A fleeting glance of him is rare. He lets you see him, unaware of how his presence bursts your heart, this living, breathing work of art. This next poem is called Aviation, and it's one very dear to my heart because I wrote it as part of the Time for Change campaign, which is about bringing awareness of the stigma suffered by people with mental health problems. And it's written for a very dear friend of mine who describes herself as a bipolar bear, good old-fashioned manic depressive. Aviation. This plane has been grounded for what feels like months, enveloped in fog thick as coal miners' dust. Just as you think it's going to lift, it quite resolutely refuses to shift. It makes you feel anxious, abandoned and lost to slither around in the cold and the frost. So whilst you're stuck there, you might as well sleep. That cloud is so unpenetratably deep. Then suddenly, as it appears it is gone, you're itching to go, to get up and get on. You gather your baggage and check through the gate. You hope that it will be so well worth the wait. Settling in, the plane taxis the runway, preparing to turn and get up on the skyway. The tension is mounting, thoughts of fog banished. Its damp, icy fingers have disappeared, vanished. The fast acceleration takes your breath away. The thrill of leaving solid ground is more than words can say. Climbing ever upwards, all thoughts, all problems left behind. Your senses are all heightened, you are light in heart and mind. And when you get above the clouds, the azure sky is striking. Cruising at this altitude is perfect for my liking. In airiness and freedom, you almost touch the sun. You wish that you could live up here and think it would be fun. But all too soon is downward bound. Your trip has been too short. Now you're descending to a familiar airport. Let's hope that we don't have a crash and that the landing is gentle, for not to go that high again would truly make me mental. And because I feel that you're so kind to me, I'm going to try one that I've never ever done in public before. And I hope I won't cry. So if I cry, just kind of smile at me. It's called The Sea. Largely landlocked was I, till I turned 17. The water I knew was lake, river and stream. It was then that I fell fast in love with the sea. I didn't know her, but she recognised me. Her fresh, frothy fingers invited me in to the bright sun-warmed shallows and the dark depths within, absorbing, bewitching, accepting me whole, giving life to my body, recharging my soul. On dancing white horses we rode and we played, tossed like flotsam and jetsam on her stage of jade. The comforting rhythm of tides in and out, emotions flow freely, around and throughout. The stars and the moon were in league with her too, shining out silver pathways to navigate through. All the storms and becalming, the huge crashing waves, made me grow ever stronger, emboldened and brave. With her bright eyes of Neptune, a fathomless green, she caressed me and didn't care where I had been, for we were as one, sharing secrets and dreams, immersed in each other, no limits, no seams. In the sharp light September brings, we had begun on a life's worth of loyalty, trusting and fun. And when we're apart, I taste salt on the breeze. Excuse me. I am reeled back in time and fall down to my knees to give thanks that your bright star collided with mine, which enabled our hearts and our souls to entwine. You daughter of fate, vivid, impassioned and free, I am drawn to you, spawned to you, so shall it be. The pull of the tide holds me frozen in time when she found me and her soul met with mine. Eternal, maternal, a friend like no other, most tender, most fierce, elemental, a lover. At the end of my life, bear me down to the sea, to surrender to her, where she'll hold and rock me. So to drift on the tide, in our soul company, firm and fast joined together, eternally.
Wel, mae gen i ddwy gerdd arall. Dwy gerdd eto am bobl. Y cynta yn Seren Teledu. Dwi wastad wedi bod a diddordeb yn y cyfryngau a ffilms a pethau fel yna pan o'n i'n fach. A Seren Teledu sydd yn y cynta. A wedyn fi fy hun yn cofio rhywbeth arbennig sydd yn yr ail. So, 2 poems to finish with. The first is about a television star, and it's called Studio Me. Lights in place, everything manipulated so intricately. Spotlight catches my best side. I've returned home to suitably use some friends to relaunch Sagging Me. Say it's for the community, always sounds good. And the great sadness is that it's all so empty. And the saddest of all is that everything's me. And me is not enough. Another stand up in my own orbit. I trip on untidy cables. Behind all this illusion, the floodlights blind me. So that I don't need to see the ones who love me. I hate watching my shows on television. Cyn i gloi. Y cymheriad tro yma ydi fy hun a cofio fy mam yn y gerdd yma. This is about a trip with my mother. My mother died very young, actually, in the terms of nowadays, when she was 60, and in 1990. And she came to get me in college in Bangor, and it's about that day, coming back Easter time through Dyffryn Ogwen. And sort of I was a different person then. I was a very innocent person, I suppose, then, in college days. And of course, the person isn't here anymore. So it's all about that. Dyna'r cefndir. A gobeithio newch chi fwynhau hwn, achos taith drwy'r eira sydd yma. A ryw atgof. A fel dyn ni'n cofio rhywbeth da hefyd am y bobl dyn ni'n ei golli. Dyffryn Ogwen. Pan fydd eira yn Dyffryn Ogwen cyn y Pasg, a'r haul yn disgleirio arno'n llwyr, cyn i'r gwanwyn wir gynhesu, pan fydd Llyn Ogwen yn llain sglefrio a'i nentydd oll yn rhwyn, wrth gofio'r un daith honno efo ti, daw'r dadmer bob tro i'n hiraeth i. Pan fydd yr eithin yn blodeuon ddiniwed, a'r awyr yn las olen, ond ias ar y gwynt, a'r eira yn dal ar y copaw. Wrth gofio'r un daith honno efo ti, daw'r dadmer bob tro i'n chwythdod i. Tithau wedi mynd ar daith bell ers hynny. Cofio'r daith ofalus hyd iar heolydd, a'r wybren mor las olen. Minnau heb nabod brath hiraeth bryd hynny. Diolch yn fawr.